Howdy, it's Jim Morado, and the video I'm putting up right now is from May 2013, and we're actually driving around the Wisconsin Dells area. Yeah, Wisconsin Dells. This was a great trip. We went. It was, I believe, very early May, and as you can see, there's there's still some snow on the ground, and we encountered snow a little bit on this trip. We actually did a nice big road trip where we circled around Lake Michigan. I do keep a pretty obsessive journal, and I went back and checked my journal. Going from Kentucky, we put over 2,000 miles on my car. So, yeah, we did a whole lot of driving on this trip. This was a great trip, though. In fact, this is one of those trips that's kind of been big on my I want to do it again soon list for a while, but we just haven't gotten around to being able to doing it. But yeah, so we went to the Wisconsin Dells, which I've always heard compared to Gatlinburg, and that's definitely a fair comparison. It was not as hopping as Gatlinburg. It did have some kind of novelty restaurants here and there that looked pretty cool. We were there kind of in their off season, though. It's they had water parks. They were big on water parks, and those were not open while we were there. And I think we were there during the week. We were just obviously there, kind of at an off time for them, which is usually when I like to visit places. But yeah, the Wisconsin Dells was just a lot of fun. I Google Maps this a little bit the other day. It looked, it didn't look like it had changed much, in my opinion, but I could be wrong. Let me know if you live there or if you frequent there. Let me know, what kind of changes have occurred. Anyway, yeah, I edited this video down quite a bit. I taped a lot because there's so much to see in the Wisconsin Dells. So I got it down to 15 minutes or so, but I thought I would just talk a little bit about the trip we had and some of the highlights of it as we go through the Wisconsin Dells. I remember as we drove up, we went to the Triple X Diner in, I believe, Lafayette, Indiana. Seen advertisements for that place, and we thought it would be cool to stop there. That place was awesome. And, only time I've been near there, so that was kind of cool. I remember we drove through Chicago, and no disrespect to Chicago, but it's a big, chaotic town for driving in. I like to avoid it when I can. But I remember we went through Chicago, and we stopped at, I think the first night or two on the road, we stopped in Kenosha, Wisconsin. We did the Jelly Belly factory tour. That was really cool. Not sure how COVID has affected that tour at this point, but when we were here in 2013, that they kind of give you a little train ride through their warehouse. They tell you about it. They give you a free sample bag on your way out. That was definitely one of those cool things to do. That you see stuff like that on Roadside America, and you're like, I need to do that. And there's a ballpark in Kenosha. I forget the name of it, but I remember it was one of the All-American girls. One of their teams played there. Oh, there's a muffler man. Yeah, but the All-American girls, if you saw the movie A League of Their Own, yeah, that league, back in the 1940s, they had a team there in Kenosha. And the next night or two we spent in Milwaukee, which was a great city. One of those great big cities that I just admired. I liked it. I liked the layout. We went to a Brewers game, and they had I think it was an exhibition game, and they had the dome up, which was a cool experience, and just had a good time there. We went to a really cool coffee shop, Stone Creek Coffee. Really, really liked that coffee shop. In fact, on this trip, circling Lake Michigan, we would hit all sorts of great independent coffee shops. Also wanted to say I'm so sorry if you can hear a dog barking in the background. That's Forrest. He's playing ball with my wife downstairs. So sorry about that. Hope you don't mind. Yeah, Sinclair Dinosaur over there. We've seen a couple cool things as we're driving around too. Wanted to mention that. Not to be too all over the board here, but yeah, we went to Stone Creek Coffee, and that place was just really really good. I remember it. I think they have like a baking school inside of it or something. It was just a really classy, cool place. Everything we had was wonderful. And then we drove to the Wisconsin Dells. And we're driving around right now, the Wisconsin Dells. We were only here a couple of days. I didn't do nearly all I wanted to do. Another reason to try to get back at some point. I do remember, and I can't remember the name of it, but I do remember going to an unbelievable antique mall. And it was the kind of place my wife had to drag me out of there before I got into some trouble. But they had just a lot of cool stuff. I remember finding some great Milwaukee Braves items, and yeah, they had a really cool selection of stuff. Probably one of the best antique malls I've ever been to. I remember a nice bookstore, and it was just fun driving around the Wisconsin Dells. I know we went to Top Secret, which is kind of an upside down White House alien. I don't know. It's a very weird attraction. I do recommend it highly. It's just weird. It's bizarre. It's confusing. When you leave, you're kind of going, "What was that?" And I really liked what they were doing. You can see we're driving by water parks and things like that. I do recall we went to a place called the Brat House for dinner, and it was really good. I believe it's still in the area. I will say, I know the hotel we stayed at, we talked to someone at the front desk, and we were asking for recommendations. And we were told pretty much avoid the gimmicky places. And there were a few specific ones that are well known. And we did not take the young lady's advice. We went to one of the very gimmicky places, and we all got a little sick. And we mentioned that to the nice lady at the hotel when we went back, and she said, yeah, she used to work at one of the gimmicky places, and she just suggested rule of thumb when you're in the Wisconsin Dells, avoid the more gimmicky places. So we learned our lesson, but we did go to the Broad House. We liked it a lot for a different meal, and I just wanted to mention that. And that there were actually a few things here in the Wisconsin Dells I really wanted to do, and just the way our schedule went, we did not get to do them. And we did drive out and we looked for Stand Rock. There's a famous photo that was taken there, and I just wanted to go see it, and we could not find it. And we still had a fun time driving around, kind of out in the country through here, I guess you would say. Another thing, the Ducks boat tours started here, and I wanted to do one of those, but it was so darn cold, we passed on that. And there's right there, I believe we're passing, was it Tommy Bartlett's, which is an attraction that's kind of evolved over time. They used to have kind of a show there that I just looked on Wikipedia. It looks like that folded. It looks like there's still a science center kind of attraction there, though. But yeah, Tommy Bartlett's. We didn't do Tommy Bartlett's. And we did not do one of the duck boat tours. Again, it was a really cold day. And as much as I would have liked to have done it for bragging rights, we just passed. It just did not seem like the day to do a duck boat tour. So yeah, I guess three kind of big things in the area I wanted to do, and we didn't get around to do them. But we did get to drive around and walk around and just see what was kind of in the Wisconsin Dells, like big flamingos on signs. And then after we left the Wisconsin Dells, we went to Green Bay. We hung out at Lambeau Field, which was really cool. If you've stopped, I know in our travels we've stopped at other NFL stadiums, and Lambeau was very open, very welcoming. They have a nice museum. It's almost like its own city inside there, even if there's not a game going on. It was just a really, really nice experience. and that was cool. Oh yeah, driving by the duck tours right there. And, in all of my travels, I still have not actually done a duck tour. Something I'm going to have to put on the list to make sure I do. But yeah, and then when we kind of completed our trip, we rounded around the lake. I remember going over the Mackinac Bridge, which was pretty cool. And we also went to in Traverse City, the Traverse City State Hospital. And that's a beautiful old, I guess what you would say is a psychiatric hospital at one time that has been repurposed into shops and kind of, I guess, apartments, okay, apartment kind of place. That place was beautiful, and they had really done a good job of repurposing it. And it was yeah, quite a thrill to stop there and hang out after we left here. And we stuck as close as we could to water for the whole trip. I know we went to, yeah, there's the ducks. We went to Rapid City as we went down, and just one of my favorite cities on the planet. I like Rapid City a lot. Check out the big Trojan horse at that water park. That's just cool. But yeah, so we did a big circle around Lake Michigan, and as I talked to other road trippers, that's kind of a popular. It's something you do at some point. It The whole thing had a very. By the way, there's Top Secret. It's kind of a flipped over earthquake hit, apocalyptic situation, White House, and we did that tour again. It was really cool, really weird, really different. But yeah, this was yeah. We just stopped here on our trip, driving around Lake Michigan, which yeah, like I said, I would compare it to somewhat compare it to a New England trip. We seemed to be around the lake a lot. You were around water, and you just found all these great little towns with a lot of charm. And again, we found a ton of great coffee shops. I just something I'll always remember about this trip. But yeah, I've been thinking about this trip a lot lately, and I went and dug out my old disc, or actually multiple discs of video I made as we went through the Dells, and wanted to just edit this down to a quick video, and mention the Wisconsin Dells in 2013. I was thinking about trying to find like a cool book or something with a history of the Dells. If you know of a good book with a good history of the Dells, let me know. I always love a good true crime book, and some of the ghost books. If you know of a good haunted Wisconsin Dells book or a true crime book relating to the Wisconsin Dells, let me know. And we were just sort of on, I guess you would say, maybe the main drag of the Wisconsin Dells, with a lot of the bigger attractions, and it seemed like we were going more towards like a downtown area where there were some smaller shops. And man, how pretty is that? I remember a really cool bookstore up here, and just some other nice kind of knickknack type shops. I don't know about you, but especially when I'm in a place like this, I love picking up postcards. I got to get a patch or two, and I love stickers. And I love just little knickknacks. And I love the little shops that sell that kind of thing. And of course, the Dells. The Dells had a lot of that, so I was happy. Used to be a t-shirt person. If it's a really cool t-shirt and it's not that expensive, I'll still pick up t-shirts. But there was another duck there. There's a haunted mansion. Again, that haunted mansion especially reminded me of Gatlinburg and Pigeon Forge in Tennessee. It's a very appropriate comparison to Pigeon Forge, Gatlinburg, both near the Great Smoky Mountains. Another thing to compare this to would be Niagara Falls. Again, a natural wonder where, kind of a touristy mecca in its own right has popped up near it. Yeah, that Pigeon Forge. There's almost something identical to that in Pigeon Forge. Of course, these areas you always get the Ripley's museums and Guinness World Record museums, Hard Rock cafes. I don't think there's a Hard Rock cafe here, though. Maybe I missed it. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed my video from almost a decade ago on the Wisconsin Dells. Again, if you live there, if you know a lot about it, let me know what I missed. Let me know what else I need to make sure I see next time I'm in this neck of the woods. Thanks.